Welcome back for another video. On this, we're going to take a look at the pup from Earthworm Jim. I forget his name, but I did do a slight restoration on him. His nose was rubbed off, the black was rubbed off, so I took a Sharpie marker to him, a one with the chisel edge, and I have no idea where I put that now, because I have cleaned up this room since then. But no, slight restoration in terms of that, and his cleaned him off. He was filthy dirty. I used several Q-tips to clean him off. In my original video, where right after I cleaned him, yeah, it was a lot of pretty filthy Q-tips. Just took some alcohol and Q-tips to him, cleaned every inch of him. Really, I did his whole back twice, just everything. He's missing a spike, and I considered replacing him with another one. I tried to get the tips of his ears here black again. I think that's worn off though. Yeah, he's missing a spike. I was going to replace him. There was another seller that had him for a few dollars more. I decided, I believe we popped a spike or two off him. We had this guy as a kid, so, and as you can see, his eyes, the paint is kind of peeling, and they could have got a little closer to the edge here on his right eye with the paint, but I've seen him brand new in the packaging, but it's like $40, so I didn't pay anywhere near that for him. That's a lot of money, but it's pristine. Interesting that they didn't paint his nails. I thought about doing that, but no. I mean, I could do a more extensive restoration on him. Like the back of his jacket, there's some paint wear there, or where they accidentally painted where they... Oh no, it looks like, and you can tell at one point here, okay, if you see the edges of his jacket are orange, he's painted orange, and they just paint over that. The whole thing is originally painted orange. I'll need to update my phone. Yeah, you can see where even here the orange paint's coming through on the bracelet there. But yeah, he's a cool figure. I forget his name. I wish I knew it. Yeah, pretty cool toy. I do have another Earthworm Jim toy, but I'm not going to reveal him, because this is just about my light restoration of this guy. Painted the nose, because he barely had any black on the top of his nose when I got him, and that seems to be a common thing. That wears off probably first, and his mouth opens and closes. Legs move, arms, legs kind of move. Hang on. Yeah, they move, but he's very hard to stand up, for display purposes. One side of his body weighs more. Well, if you had his legs more, if the right leg was like that, he'd be able to stand just fine. But let's try. Oh, and there's a few spots where I could have, going back into the restoration part of it, where I could have painted his pants. There's a few spots, but cleaning him was the main thing, I thought. And you couldn't even really see a lot of the surface dirt, so Alright, well, that's the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Come back for more coming soon.